we had some characters introduced, and we learned where Mr. Fox actually lives at. And for those of us who weren't here, I think Demaya and Dalton, you're our new guests. Mr. Fox and his family, Mr. and Mrs. Fox, and the family stays where? Anybody want to remind us? Where do they stay? What's the setting right now of our story? Good, I see a few hands. Let's go with Denilah. I like the active participation. I like how she's going back into her notes.
They live on a hill in a hole by a tree.
So yeah, so they live on a hill in a hole underneath the tree. Okay, so like it's the hole that's underneath the little tree. Okay, good job, Denilah. I like how she went back to her notes. Yes, I like that. Okay, so now what we're going to talk about today is we're going to read a little bit in chapter 3 and 4 probably, and we're going to talk about character traits. And so we know these different characters. We know Mr. Fox now. We was introduced to also another character. Who was that new character? And who we were introduced into chapter 2. It was a new character, Mr. Fox, and we hadn't heard from the other character. We haven't really heard much of the other character, but it is a new character.
I see Nikayla. Nikayla had her hand up. Felix.
Feel free to call on people, Miss Miranda.
Okay. Let's do Jay.
The new character was Mrs. Fox.
Yes, the new character was Mrs. Fox. And although we have not heard much from Mrs. Fox right now, we want to note that that's a character because we never know that as we continue to keep reading, we might just hear something from Mrs. Fox and she might become someone who's important. So let's start by looking at a small video of character traits to make sure that we're all reminded. And I probably will stop it. So let's see, let's screen share. Go here. Let's see.
Can you share sound too?
That's a good. How about let's test? Can you all hear that? Can they hear?
Yeah, we heard that. That was good.
So let's take a little review of what character traits is. Ms. Williams may stop the video and ask some questions, so make sure that we're paying attention. We probably won't watch the whole video, but cool. And then Miss Miranda, I can't really see their hands as much. I only got 4 people I can see. So if you can see more hands than me, feel free to call on them.
For sure.
Okay, so right here, let's pay attention. So I'm gonna give us a second to read this. I want everyone to read this right now. Give us just a thumbs up when you're ready. Okay, thank you, Emmanuel. I got Jay. Let's see. Just give me a thumbs up when you're ready. Maya. Okay.
JB, Christian have a thumbs up.
Dalton's cool, I think.
Jay.
Felix, are you done? Okay, I think we're ready to go. We ready to go? Think so. Okay, now let's keep looking. They leave it just in case we didn't read none. It's okay. Okay. Anybody want to take a risk? What's a character trait that we could use to describe Danny?
Daniel raised his Zoom hand.
Okay, we can go ahead and click on him. Emmanuel?
A trait that could describe Danny is lazy.
Okay, maybe lazy. Anybody got anything else? Or maybe we agree with Emmanuel. I see Felix hand. Felix, go ahead.
And maybe also messy.
Messy. So we have messy. We have lazy. Anybody else want to take another risk before they give us some answers?
Nikayla.
Kayla.
I agree with Emmanuel because in the story it said that he left his clothes on the floor.
And so you think that it would be probably lazy. Okay, thank you, Nikayla. And then let's finish with Jay. Jay, go ahead.
A character trait for Danny is difficult.
Maybe difficult. Okay, now let's see what they say. Thank you all for taking risks. Pause that right there. So as you can see, not all character traits are in the story. Sometimes we have to use what we know and what the text tells us to figure out what a character trait is. So we're gonna watch a little bit more of this, and then we're gonna try to apply this to Fantastic Mr. Fox. Hello, okay, good. So I think that we got to discuss that. So good job, you all taking risks. Now what we're going to do is we are going to come up as a class. We're going to choose one character and we're going to try to describe some character traits. And if I could, let me see, let me try to minimize that. I think it is, okay, here. Okay, so we're not gonna draw the picture just for the sake of time, but can I have a volunteer read our directions on this character chart? We're only gonna do one together. I have a volunteer read those directions.
I see.
Someone I haven't heard from, please.
Have we heard from Demaya yet?
Nope, we haven't in a while.
All right, Demaya.
Draw a picture and record important information about each character trait. Draw a picture and record important information about each important character as you read the text.
Good job, Demaya. Make sure when we're reading, friends, we start with the title, okay? So make sure, Demaya, you don't forget about the part that says my character chart. So now as a class, we have to decide what character we are going to figure out some character traits about. So who do we want to go with? We know we have Boggis, Bean, Bunce, and Mr. Fox. We're not going to do Mrs. Fox because we don't know much about her. Anybody want to give insights? Who do we want to go with between those four?
I see Christian. Have we heard from him yet?
And if you want, well, no, that might be too much. It's okay. I was going to say put it in the chat box. But Christian, go ahead. Who do you think we should do?
I think we should choose Mr. Fox.
Mr. Fox, okay. Thumbs up if that's what we want to go with. Silent hand if you want something else.
I see thumbs up.
Okay. So we want to learn a little bit more about Mr. Fox. Okay, let's see if I can. Is that you who wrote that?
Oh yeah, that was me. I was trying to.
Yeah, I want to write it down. Let's see. Can we do, let's see, trial and error here.
Oh, you look at you typing faster.
Can we see that, Mr. Fox?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish we could make the font a little bigger. It's okay. We're going to go with that. Okay, so we're going with Mr. Fox. What are some facts that we know about Mr. Fox? What's something that we know about Mr. Fox? Let's think about this one a little bit, and then let's see. Yeah, sure.
Esteban, I can't see you. So if you could turn on your camera so I know if you're raising your hand or not. Let's see. Nikayla, did we hear from Nikayla yet?
Yes, we haven't heard from JV in a while.
Okay.
I know Esteban logged on in the middle. Dalton is new here. So
Yeah.
Insights. But let's hear from one of them.
I see JV. Go ahead, JV.
JV, what are some facts that we know about Mr. Fox?
He got 4 kids.
Okay, that's good. So he has 4 kids. Oh, okay. Anyone else want to add to that?
Let's see. I'm just gonna say the names of people's hands I see. I see Daniela, Jay, Felix. I see Emmanuel, Nikayla.
Doesn't even matter.
Let's do
Jay, maybe?
Yeah, Jay. Okay, I was literally about to say him too.
He steals from the farmers?
Yes, that's a good one, Jay. Let's see if we can. Okay, is there anything else that we think that we can add before we begin about
Daniela?
Okay.
He's a thief.
So Daniela, actually, I think you jumped ahead a little bit. So if we're thinking about a character trait of Mr. Fox, what could be a character trait based off the fact that we know that he steals from the farmer? What did you say, Daniela? He is a what?
Thief.
Thief. So we can justify, or we can say based off what the text has told us and our knowledge of when we know someone steals from something, that a character trait for Mr. Fox may be a thief. I want to challenge someone else to come up with maybe a different character trait, because we know character traits does not always have to be bad. They can be good as well. So can anyone else come up? And I like how I see some of us taking notes.
Mm-hmm.
Taking notes is, and I don't think I spelled it right. There we go.
Emmanuel has his Zoom hand up.
Okay, go ahead, Emmanuel, and then we'll hear from, I think,
Another character trait for Mr. Fox could be sneaky.
So maybe we can say that he's sneaky. So maybe not a thief, but maybe we can say sneaky, because in the story, It really didn't say that he stole stuff, but remember, when we're thinking about character traits, we're making an inference. We're going off some of our knowledge as well. Thank you, Emmanuel. Felix, you had your hand up.
I was also going to say sneaky.
Okay, so you were going to say sneaky. Okay, I want to actually add a character trait because I feel like we're thinking of Mr. Fox as just being a bad guy. And I think that although maybe he is sneaky or maybe we think he's a thief, what about him being, I'm trying to think of a good word.
I think I have one.
Do you think you have it? Can you give me a word that you think you have?
I'm using the title. Maybe he's fantastic.
Maybe he's fantastic. Because even though they don't have much money to eat, he's going out his way, and I was going to say provider.
Ooh, that's a good one.
He's going out his way to provide food and resources for his family. Because if he don't do it, then none of them will eat. And so one thing I want us to caution, I got to get my phone. One thing I want us to think about is that when we think about character traits, we don't want to just jump to negative. We want to look at the whole picture. Good, excellent. So I see some of us writing things down. I'm gonna give us like maybe another minute or so, and then we are going to jump into chapter 3. I'll read into chapter 3 and go into chapter 4. Give us about, I'll give us another minute. Some of us are writing. Adrian, do you have pencil and paper? Probably should have pencil and paper. Let's sit up, Adrian. Okay. Miss Miranda, is there any? Nah, you can't really take a picture of it, huh? Let me see.
I did this.
Let me see if I can see you. Okay, you did that. Okay, cool. So now let's go ahead and read a little bit. Let me pull up my Kindle.
I think today it's making people put a password in, which is something they're not used to. So some people were messaging me a little confused.
Able to, yeah, I know Felix had to call as well. Were you able to? Hold on, let me stop share for a second. Were you able to get them in? Most of them.
Yeah, Esteban, he was one. Is he here?
Yeah.
Oh, where did Esteban go? He was here.
I'm sorry, guys. Miss Williams is trying to find our book that we had. Okay, I think I got it pulled up. Okay. Wait, okay, here we go. Okay, we back. Thank you for being patient. Okay, share. It should be, let's see.
There's Gemma.
Okay.
Oh.
Are we ready? We ready to go? Ready for chapter 3?
I'm ready.
Ready too. My prediction is that the farmers are not going to succeed in getting Mr. Fox because I think that he's pretty fantastic. So let's see. Let's have Adrian. Where's Adrian? Adrian. Is he on here?
Yeah.
Adrian, go ahead and read for us this first page on chapter 3, starting with the title.
Will my
Mr. Fox, what shall it be tonight? I think we'll have duck tonight, said Mr. Fox. Bring us 2 fat ducks, if you please, one for you and me, and one for the children. Ducks it shall be, said Mr. Fox. Bunce, best. Now do be careful, said Mr. Fox.
And
My darling, my darling, said Mr. Fox. I can smell those gun gone goons a mile away. I can even smell one from the other Boggis give Boggis gives of a filthy filthy stink of rotten chicken skins. Bunce reeks of goose livers and has for being the fumes of apples bitter hang around him
like poisonous
gases.
Good job, Aiden. JV, hey, can you make sure that your screen is muted, JV? Thank you, Adrian, for starting us off. Okay. Now let's see. We are going to read through this fluently. So we're going to do. I want 1 volunteer, 2, 3, 4. I need 4 volunteers.
4 volunteers. All right.
Yes, we're going to do this paragraph. This. And the second volunteer is going to read this. Third volunteer is going to read all of this. And the last volunteer is going to begin at his and take us to the next page or finish at more.
Okay, so let's see. Number 1 can be, let's do Demaya.
Okay, Demaya first. Who's second?
Then second, let's do Christian.
Christian second. Okay, who's going to read third?
Let's do Nikayla.
Okay, and then who's our fourth reader?
Let's see. Let me flip down. Then for the last, let's see. I see Emmanuel's hand.
Okay, Emmanuel can close us off. Okay, so please make sure we're paying attention. Ms. Williams want to hear some expression. Remember, we're getting ready for 4th grade. I want to hear expression, and it should sound like one person after the other. I'll try to highlight it. Okay, who's our first volunteer? Go ahead and begin.
Yes, but just don't get careless, said Mr. Fox. You know they'll be waiting for all three of them. But don't you worry about me, said Mr. Fox. I'll see you later.
Amazing. All right, next is Christian. Oh, Christian, unmute yourself.
Mr. Fox would not have been quite so cocky had he known exactly where the 3 farmers were waiting at that moment. They were just outside the entrance to the hole, each one crouching behind a tree with his gun loaded,
Whoa.
and what is more, they had chosen their positions very carefully, making sure that the wind was not blowing from from them towards the fox's hole. In fact, it was blowing in the opposite direction. There was no chance of them being smelled out.
Thank you, Christian. Our next reader, please.
So it's Michaela.
Mr. Frog creep up and creep the dark tunnel to the mouth of I can't really say the word because everybody's on this.
Oh, okay. The mouth of his hole.
The mouth of his hole. He poked his long handsome face out into the night air and sniffed.
Sniff. Yep.
Once he moved an inch or two forward and stopped. He sniffed again. He was always especially careful when he coming out from his hole. He inched forward a little more. The front half of the
Yes.
his body was now in the open.
Okay. Good job, Michaela. Let's have someone finish. Emmanuel, finish us off, please.
His black nose was twitched from side to side, sniffing and sniffing for a scent of danger. He
You're breaking up a little bit, Emmanuel.
just about to the trunk. He heard or saw. He heard any noise, as though someone had moved ever so gently through a patch of dry leaves. Mr. Fox flattened.
Are you okay?
In front of the body where there's something in front of it.
I'm sorry, when I highlight it, that pops up. So I'm gonna just try to follow it with my. So start back with Mr. Fox, if you don't mind, Mr. Fox.
Mr. Fox flattened his body against the ground, lay very still. His ears pricked. He waited a long time, but he heard nothing more. It must have been a field mouse, he told himself.
Good job, Emmanuel. Thank you all for reading. I know what's going on. I'm trying to. Do anybody know what the word? They're gonna give us the definition. Okay, let's look up. It's okay. So the word prick means make a small hole in something. So when it said his ears pricked, it's pretty much mean his ears perked up. So kind of like when you say when you're trying to call your dog or cat's name. Miss Miranda has a cat. If she was to call her cat's name, the cat ears would prick up because the cat has heard Miss Miranda call. Is it a he or her, Miss Miranda?
Him, Ricky.
Ricky. Her Ricky would hear Miss Miranda call his name. And so what happened, or what was going on? I'm telling you all what was happening. You all need to be telling us what was going on. What's going on right now?
Okay, let's see. What hands do we see? What's going on?
Let's see. What's going on right now? We just kind of got a lot of information. We made a prediction. Now fill us in on what's going on.
I see Felix.
Yep. Felix, we haven't heard from you. Did you unmute yourself, Felix?
What was happening now is that Mr. Fox was going to go get a goose for his family, and he knew that the farmers were out there, so he kind of snuck out.
Okay. And what did the farmers have with them as they were outside the hole waiting on Mr. Fox? Well, not you, Felix. I want someone else. I want Felix to phone a friend. Phone a friend, Felix. You can call on anyone.
Delilah?
Delilah, okay. What did the farmers have as they were waiting on Mr. Fox to come out the hole, Delilah?
A shoot gun?
A shotgun. So the farmers had a gun and they're waiting on Mr. Fox to come out of this hole. Okay. So now let's keep reading. So it said on the previous page, let's make sure we're not. So it said it must have been a field mouse, he told himself. I'll just finish off this part. Whoa. Make sure I'm not. Did I go too far? Okay. Here we go. Right? Oh my gosh. I always do this. Okay. It's so difficult, like controlling screen share and like trying to teach. It's okay. We got it. So let's have, I feel like I skipped a page. Did I not skip a page, Miss Miranda?
Let me see. It must have been a field mouse, he told himself, or some other small animal is the next part.
I don't see that. Is it up?
It like completely changed where it is.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is. There it is on the top of that second page right there, or some other small animal.
Why did it? Oh, okay. I got you now. Thank you. Thank you all for being so patient. Look at you all. My baby. Okay. Let's have Gemma. You're gonna read He Crept Out, and then we're gonna have Esteban read the final paragraph. So Gemma, start out at or some other small animal and then continue through this. Make sure you unmute yourself, please.
Or some other small animal. He crept a little further out of the hole. Then further still, he was almost right out in the open now. He took a last careful look around the wood. The wood was murky and very still. Somewhere in the sky, the moon was shining.
All right, Esteban.
Thank you, Jenny. Make sure you unmute yourself, Esteban.
Just then, the sharp eyes saw a glint of something right behind a tree not far away. It was a small silver speck of moonlight shining on a polished surface. Mr. Fox lay still, watching it. What on earth was this? Now it was moving. It was coming up and up. Great heavens.
Okay,
It
I'm gonna pause
was
you right there, Esteban. I'm gonna pause you right there. So this is Mr. Fox speaking, right? The reason why the author put this in italics with an exclamation
yeah.
point is because you know it's with a little expression, okay? So I want you to read this with a little expression, okay? So start back over at it was coming.
Okay.
So it was coming up, and then let's
Okay.
expression.
It was coming up. Great heavens!
There we
It
go.
was the barrel of a gun. Quick as a wet, Mr. Fox jumped back into his hole, and at the same instant, the entire wood seemed to explode around. Bang, bang, bang.
Good job. Thank you so much, Esteban, for reading with expression. So as you notice that if you read with expression, it actually starts to feel like a real story, and we can kind of imagine ourselves being there. So what just happened? What just happened? What just happened? What just happened? What happened?
Let's see.
What happened? What happened? What happened? Great heavens, it was the barrel of a gun. Quick as a whip, Mr. Fox jumped back into his hole, and at that same instant, the entire wood seemed to explode around him. Bang, 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 bang. What's going on?
I only see one. Oh, I see three hands. There they go.
There we go. I'm like, we know what's going on. What's going on?
Come on now. Let's see. Demaya.
They are shooting
Hey,
guns.
okay, keep going. I'm sorry. I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
They are shooting guns, and the fox is getting like scared a little bit.
Yep, it's getting scared a little bit. Good. So let's make sure that this is the end of. Oh wait, we got more. Let's see how many pages too. Okay. For the sake of time, Miss Williams will read this last one to us because we won't do the assignment together today because you have tomorrow off. But at the conclusion of this, I'm going to put the assignment for chapters 1 through 3 on here. So make sure we're paying attention to this last little piece. And make sure you're listening to how Williams is reading. So let's go. The smoke from the 3 guns floated upward in the night air. Boggis and Bunce and Bean came out from behind their trees and walked towards the hole. Did we get them? Said Bean. One of them shone a flashlight on the hole, and there on the ground, in a circle of light, half in and half out of the hole, lay the poor, tattered, blood-stained remains of a fox's tail. Bean picked it up. We got the tail, but we missed the fox, he said, tossing the thing away. Dang and blast, said Boggis. We shot too late. We should have let the moment he poked his head out. Oh, we should have let fly the moment he poked his head out. He won't be poking it out again in a hurry, Bunce said. Bean pulled the flask from his pocket and took a swig of cider. Then he said, it'll take 3 days at least before he gets hungry enough to come out again. I'm not sitting around waiting for that. Let's dig him out. No, let me keep going. Sorry, I gotta move you all. Okay. Ah, said Boggis. Now you're talking sense. We can dig him out in a couple of hours. We know he's there. I reckon there's a whole family of them down that hole, Bunce said. Then we'll have the lot, said Bean. Get the shovels. Okay. We are going to stop and put this to a pause right here. And so, what did they end up getting? What did they end up shooting? What did they end up shooting?
I see.
JV, what did they end up shooting?
Its tail.
Okay, so they ended up shooting Mr. Fox's tail off. And now they're kind of frustrated because they got this close. So now let's go back to our original question from yesterday. Did they succeed in getting Mr. Fox? Let's talk about this a little bit before we go. Did they succeed in getting Mr. Fox?
Did they succeed? I saw Denila's hand earlier.
And then make sure that when you say yes or no, you provide a little bit of evidence.
So Denila.
Denila, go ahead and start us. Are we gonna hear then getting Mr. Fox?
I think the farmers will not succeed because a fox is way faster than a farmer, and most of the time the farmers was fighting.
But remember, Denila, remember the question. So now we're not thinking anymore because they just told us that outside the hole that they shut off Mr. Fox's tail. So Ms. Williams is asking you all if, based off that, since we know that the farmers shot off Mr. Fox's tail, do you think they were successful in getting Mr. Fox? You can phone a friend, honey. Dalton, actually, Dalton. I haven't heard from you much. Go ahead, Dalton. Were they successful in getting the fox?
They weren't successful because they only shot the tail. They didn't actually successfully catch him.
I mean, they got a piece of the fox's tail, though. So could we make an argument that they are successful? Yes or no? Thumbs up, thumbs down. They got a piece of the fox's tail, so could Ms. Williams say that they succeeded in getting the fox? Thumbs up if we agree with Ms. Williams, thumbs down if we don't. Emmanuel agrees, Jay doesn't agree with me.
Michaela doesn't agree.
Michaela doesn't agree. Denila
See,
doesn't agree.
iPhone has their hand up. I don't know who that is, though.
Okay, let's hear from some people who agree with me. Christian, why do you agree with Miss Williams? Make sure you're on mute.
Because if they cut off the fox's tail, that means maybe the farmers succeed.
That could mean that, but honestly, Miss Williams just kind of threw you all a curveball. They are not successful in getting the fox because have they captured the fox? Yes or no? No, they have not captured the fox. So can the fox still come out its hole even without its tail and steal food from them? Yes, you should be shaking your head. Yes, because they can. So with that being said, Miss Williams is going to pause there. That's pretty much our lesson of the day. I'm going to stop sharing for just a second. And I'm not sure if I'm going to share here, but on Ms. Miranda, you can help me with this a little bit.
There's Isaac.
On you, I think it's YouTube. I'm going to post the questions for chapter 1 through 3.
Oh, okay.
So I have the. Should I send you the document or do you want to record it? Like
You can send me the document and I can put a link down below with it. That's what I had to do for math today.
Okay, because I want them to do page 6 and it has. And so actually let Miss Williams show this to you all just so that you know what you're looking for. And we're gonna put it on the under our YouTube page. So when you go to math, you'll have this assignment as well. And it is a little longer because we have been reading and we already know how Miss Williams gets down. So anyways, this is what it should look like. So we're all on the same page. It has a question about which one is a chicken farmer. It asks, what do they do in chapter 3? It's a little bit about the character traits, which we talked about earlier. And then it has a little answer that asks you to kind of think about why they want to catch Mr. Fox, which we've talked about all of these questions a lot. And so what I would encourage you all to do is it's easier to do assignments right when you get them. So if you wait for tomorrow, you might forget some stuff. But if you do it today, it might just be a little easier. And it's not due tonight. It is due Friday afternoon. So Friday by 4 o'clock. Are there any questions while I got this up, Steve? Felix, yes, go ahead.
So, do you want us to send the answers to this to you guys?
All you have to do is to put number 1. Let's say Miss Williams said, who is a chicken farmer? And Miss Williams said, I choose none of these. You can just put 1 and you can put the letter. Well, actually, yeah, you can put the letter or you can write down the name if you want. Does that answer your question, Felix?
Yeah.
You don't have to rewrite the questions. Just write like the number and the answer, okay? Kind of like what you do for math when you send it to me, okay? Yeah. I see Nikayla, you have a hand up. Yes.
But if we answer number 1, but we not go, the one we don't remember was the chicken farmer.
So if you don't remember who's the chicken farmer, you
The chicken farm.
and
Who shot? Did they shot?
if you didn't catch the chicken farmer today, you can either A, take a risk, or you can go back to our YouTube videos and look at them. That's what they're there for. Okay. Esteban, I see your hand up. Go ahead, Esteban. Breaking up a little bit. I'm not able to hear Esteban.
Me neither.
Oh. What did you say?
Where do we answer this?
Do we answer this? You answer it on a scrap sheet of paper.
Oh, okay.
For math. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Esteban.
And also, I thought like when you threw the fireball at us, I still kind of agreed with myself because the fox could have bleeded out.
Well, remember they said he. Yeah, the fox could have bled out, but I think that we can all agree that the fox went back to his family and he's just tailless right now. Okay.
Okay.
I like that pushback though. Thank you, Esther. Okay, I seen Denilah, you had a hand up. I think she had a hand up. Denilah, yes.
How do we send it to y'all?
How do you send the answers to us? So you have Miss Miranda's phone number, correct? An email.
Or on Dojo.
On Dojo. You can send it to our phone. So I know Felix and Gemma usually text it to Miss Williams as they have my number. I know some other people may like to send it on Dojo, so you can use Dojo.
Emmanuel emails it to me.
Emmanuel emails his, and so your mom, Denilah, should have all of that information from Miss Miranda. Myself. She has our phone number and things like that, okay? So when you're done with it, you can just ask her for Miss Miranda's number. You can even send it from your phone. Gemma sends her homework from her phone, her own phone number. Okay?
I see Demaya's hand up.
Demaya, yes.
It's kind of the same question, but like, do you take a picture of it and send it?
Yes. So when you turned in that foundations to me the other day, you took a picture of it and texted it. That was perfect, just like that.
Just like
Okay.
that. Yep. These are really good questions, friends.
Mhm.
Make sure you ask them. Anybody else has any questions?
Isaac has his hand up, his Zoom hand up.
Yes, Isaac.
So, if you're doing the question, can you like go back in the text and look at it?
Yeah, so the video's on YouTube. I know, Isaac, sometimes maybe you come on a little later, but what I would do is I would get on our YouTube video that I text your mom. I text her the link, and you should be able to see the YouTube videos of what we've been doing.